Good morning. Welcome to Walking Boxing. It is Tuesday, July the 1st, 2025. And you can probably see behind me at the moment it is currently raining. I'm a little bit away from home at the moment, probably about halfway. So I'm going to keep at it. I've just had my wife text me and say, "What are you doing? You idiot, I'll come and get you." But I'm going to stick it out. It's not that bad. It is sort of trickling down, but we'll survive, won't we, buddy? Hey? Nothing on this day today. I really couldn't find anything. It's one of those days where it looks like nothing happened in boxing history. I don't know why. It seems like every other day in boxing history something has gone on, but I scoured the internet and I couldn't find anything. So that is it for on this day, July 1st. I'll tell you what, speaking of July, though, there's a lot to come. Being July 1st or the start of a new month, it's really good to reflect on what's coming up, and July is going to be exceptional. There's the Stan Sports show coming up. Not that I'm that excited about it, but it is I suppose a biggish event here in Australia. It's the Sonny Bill Williams and Paul Gallen fight on the 16th, I think it is. Then on the 19th, of course, the 20th here in Australia, it is the Manny Pacquiao, Mario Barrios and Tim Tszyu, Sebastian Fundora doubleheader in Las Vegas. And what a weekend that is going to be. The week actually before that is July 11th, which is the females, the big female card in New York, headlined by Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. I think there's, is there four? I think actually it might be three undisputed title fights on the card, and then I think there might be another couple of world title fights there as well, including our own Shanika Johnson, who will be fighting for the undisputed bantamweight title. So what a weekend that'll be for her. She's a late replacement. The following night in New York, in Flushing Meadows. The first one, by the way, is at Madison Square Garden on the Friday night with the girls. So, and I'm looking forward to that show, by the way. I'm going to be there, and I haven't been to an all-female card before. I've been at shows where there's been female world title fights on. They always come to fight. They really do. So to have that all-female card headlined by what is probably the greatest trilogy or female trilogy in history is Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. It should be electric. So, and it's, from what I've seen, it's almost sold out. So obviously a lot of people looking to see that fight as well. But yeah, on the Saturday night in Flushing Meadows, at the tennis stadium out there, Joe Louis, is it Joe Louis? Louis Armstrong, I think it is, Louis Armstrong Arena. And that will be the Edgar Berlanga Hamza Shiraz card with Zepeda and Stevenson on the undercard. Iman Kataev against David Morrell, which will be a ripper, and Puelas and Matias, which will be a really good fight as well. So, and then across to Vegas after that. So what a weekend that will be. But not just that, we've also got the Bam Rodriguez fight. Now, who's he fighting again? Cafu, I think, isn't he? Fulaleli or whatever he is, Cafu. So great to have Bam Rodriguez back. Then also, of course, probably, it's not probably, it is the biggest fight of the weekend, which is Alexander Usyk and Daniel Dubois 2. So that's just a few, and they're all around the 1 to 2 weeks apart from each other. And I think might be the week after that is the Xander Zayos world title fight as well. So what a month we've had. It's been in a bit of a lull the last couple of weeks, but we're about to really heat up and have some great fight nights. And apparently in August, we'll get to August when we get to August, I suppose, but that's apparently when we will see Nikita Tszyu back, and possibly Michael Zarafa and Shotgun Shannon O'Connell and a few of the others. So plenty going on in the world of boxing at the moment. It's exciting too, obviously, being an Aussie at the moment with so many of our best fighters in action. Just before I forget, actually, tomorrow night on this channel, we'll be going live to do Aussie Dream Fights. And the reason I'm doing it is because we've got so many very, very good world-class elite pros at the moment. I'm going to sort of pick the top 10 or around the top 10 of our best fighters and put them in against the best Aussie fighters from yesteryear. So the likes of Jai Pataya and Tim Tszyu and Liam Paro and Kambosos and Maloney's and Liam Wilson, Sam Goodman, all these guys, Justice Honey, we're going to put them all in with Aussie fighters from the past and see who we think wins and why. Look, I'll be honest with you already, there's a couple of fights that in your eyes, and probably my eyes as well, might be a little one-sided. I'll give you one. Well, I'm going to put Costa Tszyu in there, by the way, too. So just a little bit of a heads up. Costa Tszyu up against Liam Paro might be one I'm looking at. Unless I've got 10 fights I want to do anyway. Am I just really being ridiculous putting them in the ring together, or would Liam Paro actually perform pretty well against Costa Tszyu? I think sometimes we get a little bit caught up in the achievements of our great fighters. Who's to say that Liam Paro couldn't give Costa Tszyu a run for his money? I mean, Liam Paro, former world champion himself, has proved himself, but that's probably an example of maybe one of the fights I'm just sort of tinkering with and maybe see if we can find someone else for Liam Paro. Not many around at 140 though, unfortunately, in history. So we'll see. Look, if worst comes to worst, hey, sorry, Liam, you're in there with Costa Tszyu. And I think Jeff Fennick was hard to sort of get one for as well. But anyway, that's on tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Now, speaking of Aussie fighters, there's a little bit going on with our guys and girls at the moment. I'm going to start with Dana Coolwell. Now, if you remember, I think it was a week or so ago, I actually, I won't say they were reported, I just said I saw an article on Boxing Scene about, I'm just trying to find it here, about Dana Coolwell failing a drug test. Well, Dana's sort of, excuse the pun, but come out swinging about that. Now, I won't read the whole thing, it's quite lengthy, but pretty much what he's saying is that he, I was aware of an article written about me in Boxing Scene. That's where I saw it as well. He apparently wasn't informed about any positive result from the reporter or the journalist. He just went ahead and wrote the story without any consultation at all, which is, pretty low when you think about it. Says he's a clean athlete, never taken performance-enhancing drugs. Says here he was signed up to VADA and WADA. The procedure raised serious flags, and it does raise serious red flags. And it's actually good to hear from Dana himself. He says, the testers instructed me to combine 2 separate urine samples taken an hour apart into a single sample. Anyone familiar with proper testing protocol knows how bizarre and reckless that is. I've been tested multiple times throughout my career by official agencies, and it's never been done that way. That is really odd. Very, very odd. And it says his team's been trying to contact VADA and WADA, and they've confirmed that the method used in this case was highly unprofessional and susceptible to contamination and or inaccurate results. Now, it gets, or the plot sort of thickens even more because he wasn't informed about it. Several weeks went by. Just to quickly go over it, you said that there was going to be a hearing about it. They wanted the hearing at 3 o'clock in the morning Australian time. They wouldn't change the time to allow him a proper time to prepare and obviously a proper time to actually defend himself. When it said, what's it say here? Even more concerned is that I was informed of any so-called positive test until 7 weeks after the fight. Especially, like it's so unusual, especially comparing it to some of the other cases where they know pretty much straight away. So it says here, as a result, they went ahead and made the ruling without giving me a proper chance to respond or present evidence. That's not justice. And he's 100% right. That is bizarre. And I must admit, it was really, I think I said at the time, really surprising that no one else had reported it. I think on that morning where I mentioned, I just had a quick look on the Boxing Scene website that morning and seen it there. And as I said, you remember me talking about it. But I said, I'm sure there'll be more things to come. I'm sure the Australian boxing media will pick it up and there'll be some more said. And I must admit, until I saw that, I'd forgotten about it because nothing had been said. Now, obviously, there's been a lot going on behind the scenes. So, yeah, look, I don't know what's happened here. I don't know the end result will be. Hopefully it comes out in Dana's favour. But the only thing I will say is, how has this happened to Dana, and why are they, I won't say targeting Dana Coolwell, but why have they been so, I suppose, hard-assed about the whole thing? And to not allow him, or not to strike a reasonable time where Dana can, and it sort of suits both parties, that they can all get together at a reasonable hour. I think Dana said he wanted to do it at like 7 o'clock in the morning, and they wouldn't allow it. So, and even that's too early when you think about it, to get up and get prepared for a day of hearings. Not the done thing. So, especially when you've got WADA and VADA saying it's odd the way they've done it. So let's hope that Dana gets to the bottom of this and his team, and we can sort it out and clear his name, because no fighter wants to be labelled a drug cheat. So let's hope that is the case, and we see Dana back in action. What is it, 18 months? He can still fight in Australia and everywhere else in the world, just not in the States, but it looks like he has decided to base himself more over there. So whatever happens, I hope it comes out well for Dana. The team, look, again, I haven't seen a lot of, well, I haven't seen it mentioned by anyone, to be honest, but there must be some people out there commenting about it, because Dana, his team, I think this is the Hinterland Boxing Club, that's where he's from, or trains out of, that's his team, aren't very happy with some people and what they've said about it, and they let it be known that they won't forget. And so again, I haven't seen anyone comment about it on social media or anything, but obviously, as I said, they aren't very happy about it. All right, what else is happening in Aussie boxing at the moment? There's a couple of things. We have, Liam Paro has, is about to sign a long-term contract with No Limit. Now, I wasn't aware of this. I thought that he'd already signed the contract, but it looks like he's only signed that one fight deal with No Limit for that last fight. So, just trying to get this back here. I've really made a mess of my page here. But apparently it was only a one fight deal, and now he's deciding which way he's going to go. I would think that it's an absolute no-brainer to stay with No Limit. I mean, he's been with Matchroom. Matchroom, of course, look, they're in business, and have seen that maybe they've got better options than Liam, or maybe they've put on Liam that they want certain things from him and want to match him with certain fighters, and aren't really looking to guide him back. They're just looking to throw him in there with whoever's the best available, which is why I think, at least with No Limit, they will nurture him through, they'll guide him through, they'll pick him the best fights, back him, support him. One thing No Limit are very, very good at is getting their fighters big fights. Come here, man. So, so I think it's a really good move for Liam Paro to sign with No Limit. Not sure how long the contract will be, but you'd think it'd be 3 or 4 fights. Come here, man. Come here. I don't know what this guy's doing here. We'll get past here. This is where the dog normally is, so looks like he's not around today. No, come here, man. Let's go. So yeah, good move. There's some big fights there for Liam Paro down the track, and we've got, the champions. There's Gary Russell, there's Teofimo Lopez, there's Puello at the moment. Maybe that'll be Matthias, and they've got Hitchens as well. So plenty of options for Liam Paro going forward. And I spoke a couple of times about this yesterday on our show last night on Talking Boxing, but also with D-Style in the States on his show. And I got no doubt Liam will fight for another world title. But it's going to be tough to actually win another world title. Always is. I think Liam can do it. I think he's going to get the opportunities, and I think, as I said, going with No Limit is definitely the way I think that will happen. And he looked good last week, though, didn't he? Looked really, really good. And definitely, as I think I said on the show as well, what I like about Liam, he's 100% not a flash in the pan. He's a real deal, a legitimate world-class fighter. And as I said, I'm sure he'll get another crack at the title. What else is going on? Oh, Sky Nicholson's back this week. She is fighting, and I haven't seen the opponent. Who is she fighting? Let's have a look. I can't remember who it was, to be honest. I can get past there. All right, she is fighting. So she's 12-1, 1 knockout. So she's going down to 122 in this fight as well. It's on the undercard of Jack Catterall and Harlem Eubank. She's fighting an 8-rounder against, who is it against? I did see her. Oh, yep, Carla Camilla Campos Gonzalez. 9-3, but with 8 KOs. So she's obviously got a little bit of pop in her punch. Either that or she hasn't fought anybody. But that who she's fighting this week at 122. She reckons she's made featherweight very, very easily, which is why she's made the decision to go down. She did apparently try and get a rematch with Tiara Brown, who wasn't that interested in it, which is why she's gone to 122. And I mean, could we see an all-Aussie fight either with Shanika Johnson or Shannon O'Connell? Some good fights there for her. Shanika's obviously at bantamweight, but has fought at 122 in the past. And Shannon will just about fight anybody. So that's a potential fight for her as well if she wants to continue climbing the ranks. But yeah, good to see her back anyway, that she's not sort of sitting on her hands and moping around after losing that belt. She's back for another crack. All right, on to some international stuff. Where are we? I've lost it all there. I think I can remember anyway. Jake Paul. I think the pressure's getting to old Jakey boy because he's now threatened to sue anybody that is negative about what he's doing. So do you reckon he's got a guilty conscience or something there? Maybe he does. But that is crazy. That is, I don't know who that extends to. I don't know about having an opinion about someone, whether that is enough to get you sued. Maybe I better be careful too, eh? But yeah, that is the word at the moment, is that he's going to sue anyone that has a crack at him. And I'm assuming that sort of means the Piers Morgans of the world, the high-profile people with a lot of money and a big audience and this sort of stuff. But his solicitor or lawyer has mentioned that they will go after anyone. So I think Jake, I think you need to harden up a bit, mate. I think you need to realise this is the industry you're in. You've chosen to be in it. So you've got to reap the consequences and the feedback and the criticism that people are going to throw at you when you try and take them for a ride. People don't like being taken for a ride. I think everyone's cotton on to what's happening. Well, the not so smart ones out there have cotton on that it's happening. The smart ones knew right from the word go. But so be careful if you're out there on social media, because Jake Paul might be coming for you. Okay, so just be careful and watch what you say about our precious little Jakey boy. All right. And the other one, Oscar De La Hoya has, well, we all saw with the Ryan Garcia thing yesterday with the meltdown. He's on a roll, so he's continued on to Edgar Berlanga. Now, apparently about a year ago, Edgar Berlanga said he was going to slap Oscar De La Hoya when he seen him. Now, I don't remember that, but Oscar, while lighting up a cigar yesterday, said, "Hey, Edgar, I'm going to be in New York for the fight. Obviously, his fight with Shiraz, and he's going to be there with William Zepeda." And he said, "I'm going to be there, so I dare you to slap me. I've got a little surprise for you." So I'm not quite sure what that means, but let's hope it's nothing untoward. We don't want any dramas, but I hope, to be honest with you, like someone gives Berlanga a bit of a slap. Maybe Shiraz will do it for us and bring him back to earth a little bit. But I tell you what, though, De La Hoya might be a long time retired. What about 17 years retired? But I tell you what, if Berlanga does give him a slap, I'd still back Oscar De La Hoya to knock him out. I really would. Berlanga's just a big bloody mouthpiece, and to have the nerve to actually say that about someone like Oscar De La Hoya. I know Oscar can rub a few people up the wrong way and has a bit to say and everything else, but for someone like Berlanga, who's never done anything in the sport, to threaten to slap an 8-division world champion or 10-division world champion, whatever Oscar was, let's just say just one of the legends of the sport, I think it's a bit rich. And you would think that maybe Oscar will get over there with a big bodyguard or something, and if Berlanga has a crack, if he doesn't want to get his hands dirty, he'll get he's offsided and maybe do it for him. I don't know, but you don't like to see it. I think Oscar's been good for the sport. I really do. I like his antics. It's certainly not the same persona he had as a fighter, sort of almost the second coming of Oscar De La Hoya, but he's doing great things, and I think deep down we all love what Oscar's done and what he brings to the sport at the moment anyway. So so we'll see what happens there. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today. I was going to actually look at the Aussie top 10, the current top 10, and maybe discuss that, but we're probably going to be here all day. I might do that tomorrow if nothing else comes up, and go over the pound for pound list in Australia at the moment. All right, guys, well, I'm going to get out. The rain, it's starting to come down pretty heavy here at the moment. I'll get home and get a tongue lashing from my wife about being stupid and what the hell was I out there walking in the rain for. But hey, when you got to take the dog for a walk and do these videos, you got to do what you got to do, don't you? So anyway, guys, have a great day. We'll catch you tomorrow.